Hi everybody and welcome to the DABBLEDOO podcast. Every month we will be talking about different themes and giving teachers different tips to use in the classroom. We hope you enjoy the show. Okay everybody, welcome back to the DABBLEDOO Arts podcast. Jo here from DABBLEDOO Drama.
Maureen from DABBLEDOO Art.
Today's topic is all about school tours. It's that time of the year.
Love a good school tour.
Yeah, you're into it?
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
What's your favourite part about school tours?
I think the break from routine and how excited the kids get. I'll never forget telling a group of mine where they were going for their school tour and just the eruption of, oh my God, this is where we're going. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And just the excitement when they were coming in with their backpacks and their sweet treats, and they're all wearing like their caps and, you know, their sun cream on. It's just very special for them, and you feel like you're in a good mood as well.
Yeah.
And you know, you're kind of like getting towards the end of the year now, you know, school tours
you're on the
in.
home stretch.
Yeah.
I think that's like, it's the experience of it all. For teachers, for students, for parents, it's just such a great memory making experience, isn't it?
100%. I think I remember most of the school tours I did as a child.
Yeah, same as me. Like I was in school in Tips, so we were going like, you know, we kind of went everywhere. Like we went to Dublin, we went to Waterford, we went to like Wicklow, we did Clara Lara before, I think it closed down for a period, right?
It did for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, we were there beforehand.
I brought a class there and it had only really just opened back up.
Okay.
Brilliant day out for them. Oh my God. Great day out for us as well. Because it's so well supervised that you could just kind of wander around and
okay, nice. Good to know.
grab a cup of coffee.
Sweet.
Have a chat with the teachers you brought with you.
Yeah, that's brilliant. What class
and
did you bring? Fourth, was it?
Third.
Yeah. Okay.
Brilliant for them. They could do so much, and just I just happened to have a group that really loved the water.
Yeah.
So they were just happy out the entire time.
That's deadly.
And just a vast open space where they could just
freedom.
Run. Yeah.
Like, it's just so cool, isn't it?
Oh, it was brilliant. Yeah.
And when you have a class that are really into nature, obviously you're going to like tailor your school tour to what suits your pupils, but having that like opportunity to go to Clara Lara or somewhere like that that's just like outdoors, getting dirty, getting wet, eating your packed lunch on the picnic bench, you know, that like feeling, the exhilaration, you know, it really suits certain kids, which is really cool that you got to go to Clara Lara.
I know one of the kids really liked that there was a tuck shop and they brought like X amount of money. Every 5 minutes they were walking out with something else. I was like, are you going to go on any of the rides? He's like, yeah, in a minute.
I'm just there for the shop.
He's just there with his 99, happy out with life.
So funny. And we thought that we could kind of think about a couple of places all around Ireland that we think are great for school tours. And again, obviously, you're thinking about your own class. Yeah. How to decide is really based on what you're looking at in front of you in your classroom. Are they really into sports? Are they really into the outdoors? Are they more like an indoor vibe class? So we hope we've given a good variety. Do you want to tell us what you're thinking about, Maureen?
So I think obviously I'm based in Dublin, so my first thought went to the Arc, good friends of ours, which is an arts centre in the city centre. So it's incredibly accessible to get to. They're in Temple Bar, so most of your buses and Lewis services will get you close enough there. And they're actually running a show in May that we've seen, when the moon spun round. It's a dance kind of musical show.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fabulous. It's based on a W.B. Yeats poem. And just the costumes. It's aerial dancing as well. So it's brilliant. It's live music. It's storytelling. I really enjoyed the show. And I know when we went to see it in Driocht, there was a group of kids there. There was junior infant kids there. There was second class kids there, and they all loved it. And they got really into it. It was such an
experience, wasn't it? And I do feel like it was like a really high end performance. You know, it wasn't like the stereotypical play that you'd go see. It was really an experience it was really magical as well. And the kids,
beautiful.
Like one of the things that might have been a little bit annoying for maybe the performance or something was that the kids were talking a lot during it, but I actually thought that was a great thing because they were involved. They were talking about school or sports or homework or each other. They were talking about the show.
Yeah.
Which I think was magical. They were like, what is that? Look at this. What does that mean?
And there was one character, whenever he'd appear, they'd be like, it's Pillow Guy. And they'd get really excited. And I think, you know, that was really sweet to kind of see as well.
And the music.
The music was fabulous.
Yeah. So that's the musical director is a guy called Thomas Johnson, who has, if you're familiar with the tin whistle course that we have, he created that tin whistle course on the DABBLEDOO music program. So yeah, great human, great artist.
Fabulous. And like every single person in that cast, so talented. And it was but even if, you know, if you couldn't get to the show, because I know it's towards the end of May, that's, you know, peak communion confirmation time. They do run workshops for schools and they have so much going on, and they're so like eager to have schools in. Yeah. I'd say like getting in touch with them about a school tour, they'd definitely have a lot kind of going on there.
Yeah, and they often have stuff that they do bring out to schools. They do have online resources as well. So check out the ARC because it is really, really good for so many different things. And I just had a thought about, I know this wasn't on our list, but I was just thinking about Graffiti Theatre Company in Cork, and they have a theatre space also in the city that you can bring schools to, and they always have incredible, again, like a good experiential performance. You know, it's amazing. So they're a great company, and they also do tours as well to schools down in Cork.
Fab.
Yeah. Okay. So taking care of our Dublin City and Cork City people. Now, Maureen, quick curveball. Would you take 25 students on the Lewis?
I have.
You have? Oh, you queen.
It takes a lot of coordination. Okay. There's a lot of pre-teaching goes into it. Your buddy system is big there.
Okay.
I've taken kids as young as 4 and kids as old as 12. And largely, like, because the area we were teaching in, the kids would have been taking the Lewis quite a bit with their families.
Okay.
They kind of knew a bit of the etiquette, but it was definitely, there was definitely moments where you'd see a packed Lewis and you'd be like, I'm so sorry. And on they pile and you see everyone going, oh, there's loads of kids on my Lewis now. But, you know, we've gotten compliments from people before being like, wow, they're so well behaved. And we're like, thank you.
Yeah, they've been warned.
They've been warned. Definitely. I know the schools I taught in didn't have uniforms. So high vises with the school's name on. Okay. Absolute must if you're taking them out. But particularly on public transport. And telling them things, like the important thing obviously is we were going to the city centre where a lot of their parents worked, and it was always a case of, you know, I know you might get really excited if mum is in the same park as you, but you know, she can't take you anywhere unless she comes to talk to me first. I know some of the times I took the kids on the Lewis was in like a summer camp setting, so some of the parents might be like, oh, I might take them out for lunch and drop them back later. I'm like, that's absolutely fine, but please let me know. Do your head count every 5 minutes, depending on the age of your kids. But it's okay once you have like the boundaries in place and the rules in place, and you teach them the things that, you know we don't scream and shout on the Lewis. It's fine if we want to talk, but we're going to use like an indoor voice. And you know, follow the rules of the Lewis and let people get off the Lewis before you get on. If you have a seat and you see someone who might need it more than you do, offer them their seat and nothing. That
great
kind of
learning experience for them.
Fabulous. And the excitement as well for them. Oh, we're on a Lewis in school. This is great. Yeah.
Okay, so we've done Dublin City Centre, bit of Cork. I was thinking about Kilkenny and the Castlecomer Discovery Park. Again, similar to kind of Clara Lara, which we were talking about earlier, which also wasn't on our list, but it just came up. So yeah, Castlecomer Discovery Park, just like 15 minutes outside Kilkenny, I think. Unbelievable for that type of class that love adventure, love that thrill. There's zip lines. There's actually one like basically like a telephone pole that you climb up to, and then you reach and you jump and you try and grab onto like a handlebar that's like floating in the middle of the sky, basically.
Harnessed?
You are harnessed, but it doesn't feel like you are. You're so high up. So it's definitely for the thrill seeker, but also you're in the middle of the woods. There's
Yeah.
rivers, there's trees everywhere. It's
Fab.
just magical. And there's loads to do. Again, like we were saying, for like literally all age ranges. You could definitely find something for them.
Amazing.
Yeah. And
That's
Kilkenny is pretty accessible from loads of different places. So
Yeah,
not
you
too
know,
bad.
Yeah, like a lot of your kind of more Southern Midland
Midlandsy.
school. Yeah.
Definitely good for like Wexford, Waterford, Tip, Laois.
Carlow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Fab.
Great. What was our other one, Maureen?
I'm a big fan of Wild Ireland.
Okay.
Up in Donegal. So it's just outside of like Burnfoot, and kind of your biggest kind of town, I think, would be Letterkenny.
Okay.
I think it's about a 30-40 minute drive. So you will be looking at kind of hiring a coach. But what it is that it's a nature park, but it's kind of like a conservation in nature. And I'd say 99% of the animals, they do say all of the animals, but I know they have monkeys. So 90% of the animals are animals native to Ireland.
Okay.
And some of them are animals that we don't have in the wild anymore. They've got 2 brown bears, Donica and Rionach, and they're siblings. And it's great to watch them because the female Rionach loves nothing more than to mess with her brother and to wind him up, and seeing him kind of turn around and this 9-foot tall bear turn around and get annoyed with his sister.
Wow.
It's brilliant. And they've got wolves, they've got an Irish lynx. He's very hard to spot, but if you're there long enough, you'll see him.
Nice.
And it's brilliant place to be. They've got silver foxes as well. Cool. Beehives, and all of their plants that they've planted there are like natural Irish rainforest. So I'd imagine they'd do school tours, but it's absolutely brilliant. There's places to sit down, have something to eat. There's kind of an enclosed forest space as well, where you can walk through, and there's wallabies and they just jump in front of you.
God.
Bit like in Photo Wildlife Park, they just jump in front of you and you're like, Grant,
Hey, how are you?
hey, how are you?
So
no, after you.
Undisturbed land then that's just become a rainforest.
Yeah, like
That's so
sections
cool.
of it have been
Yeah.
kind of replanted. But I know I went there last year without any children and spent easily the entire day there. If you get the weather for it as well, like Arctic foxes as well. There's a lovely little viewing area for the rabbits where you can kind of crawl through this tunnel and you look up and you see the rabbits running around you. I think for any kids who love nature, who love animals, who would get a kick out of a trip to the zoo, if you're up kind of towards Letterkenny, East Donegal, even, you know, if you're based up north, it's about an hour from Derry, Derry City. It's such a great day out. And even if you're kind of listening in as a parent looking for somewhere to bring them for the summer, it'd be a wonderful day out. I cannot wait to go back.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay,
So we have
we've done
lots
north,
Dublin.
east, south. I know we've mentioned the graffiti
Theatre
theatre.
company in Cork. Yeah.
There's also the West Cork Art Centre.
Uh-huh.
They run workshops for schools if you go in as well. They have a couple of artist exhibitions on during the summer months, and different talks and things. But from any kind of looking into I've done of it, it is a case of contact them and they'll let you know what's going on. But I think an art centre is a great one if the weather's a bit unpredictable.
Definitely.
You can never bank on getting a lovely sunny day, but I think that would be a great day out if you're kind of based in kind of West Cork, Kerry.
Yeah. Another one for around the west is Wildlands in Galway.
Oh, I've heard about this place.
Yes, great spot. You can stay there. I don't know if they take like big groups, like class, but there is accommodation there, and it is again just really fun outside. There's loads of stuff actually there. There is an inside area. There's an outside area. There's even like a soft play kind of role play area set up that's like a shop, a garda station, all these different costumes the kids can put on. So yeah, a great spot again for families, for school tours, for everything, and lovely cafe as well, which is crucial.
It's a must.
Crucial, right?
Brilliant.
So I think we've covered all of the ones that we were going to suggest, right?
Yeah, we kind of wanted to pick one from each corner of the island. Yeah, and we did chat a little bit about some of the tips around bringing kids out. We talked about buddy systems.
Yeah, really good. Buddy system, definitely pack lunches, sun cream.
Sun cream is huge. I'm a big advocate for getting them wearing their sun cream and their hats, and especially if you're going to be outdoors all day, have something on their head. because you don't want them getting kind of heat exhaustion or anything like that.
Hydration
For yourself,
Yeah.
for the kids. Make sure they bring a big water bottle. Make sure you bring a big water bottle.
Would you bring spares as a teacher? Would you bring spare change of clothes? Not for yourself, like, but for kids?
It would depend on the size of my class.
Okay.
I definitely used to tell parents, change t-shirt, change clothes. Obviously, when I brought the group to Clara Lara, it was full change of clothes, towels.
Shoes probably as well.
Shoes, yeah. And I think the area we were in, they'd all heard of Clara Lara, so they're like, yep, we know exactly what to bring. But definitely a bigger lunch than you think they're going to need.
They're going to burn that off fairly quickly.
A little treat is nice as well. It's nice if your school has a healthy eating policy, if you're allowed to tell them, oh, you can bring like a little treat.
Yeah.
That adds to their excitement.
Yeah,
they get so excited at the idea of, I can bring Haribo with me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can bring jellies with me to this tour.
What an amazing experience. And that's what it is, what we talked about at the beginning, was like creating those memories. Like some of my best memories of school are my school tours, you know. And it's that like idea, getting out of the classroom, seeing your teacher in a different light, seeing your classmates in a different light, you know, and especially for people who aren't that academically inclined, they might be love the outdoors but not get that opportunity to show their skills or show their passions in the classroom. It's such a lovely space to be able to do it. Or if they're really artistic and they don't get to show that in the classroom, it's great that they get to go do workshops and experience it in a different way,
or even experiencing a different type of art than they're used to having in the classroom as well. I know it's gone now, which is such a shame, but we had the Pine Valley Forest near us when we were young, and I did a school trip up there. I think it was one of the first times I got to make a clay diorama. I was very young, and I was just enthralled. I was like, this is the coolest thing I have ever made. And, you know, that was a lovely spot because you had the nature with you as well. I really hope that a similar place either exists or will exist in the future.
Where was it? In Dublin?
It was in the Dublin Mountains, kind of up near kind of the... Is it up near Enniskerry? I can't quite remember. Like, I would have been very young going to it.
Okay.
And by the time I was looking to organise tours, it was gone, which was such a shame.
Yeah.
But some of my fondest memories are from school tours and trips out, and
they're so important. They're so important for
getting
everybody.
that break towards the end of the year, because the energy in the classroom is either very high or very low. You're coming out of standardized tests, you're coming out of the sacraments if your school does them, if you have children doing the sacraments, you're coming out of your school reports, which, you know, you're tired, it's the last stretch, and just having that day where you're like, you know what, the kids are just gonna run rampant from the day wherever they are and
have fun.
They're gonna have a great time. And it's a really nice thing to do.
It's a good way to end the year as well, isn't it?
I think it's nice as well to kind of sprinkle a few out throughout the year. You know, if you're kind of listening now going, oh, well, I've booked my tour, but I would really have loved to have taken them to that show. Take them.
Yeah.
See if there's shows on, see if there's workshops, if there's an exhibition in a museum near you. Yeah. Get them out and about during the year. We did a cinema trip in the middle of November with a group because the novel we'd been reading had been turned into a film. So like that was a great day out for them in the middle of the year. I've, in my time in special education, I've gone to galleries with kids. I've accompanied kids to museums, to like different, just a trip to the local park.
Yeah. Pop into the library.
Really the library can be a great one if there's a talk or anything on in the library. I found we took a very young group to the Natural History Museum, so the one with like the bog bodies and all the gold, and we were a little bit worried that they might not engage with it much, so we created a scavenger hunt.
Oh, great.
So we printed off a sheet of pictures of all the things they had to see, and they got a wee prize if they found everything. And of course that was me running into the gift shop and getting the pencils and everything in, and being like, oh, congratulations, you've gotten this. But it's great if you have anything like that nearby. Or I know we were speaking about Castle Comer Park for Kilkenny, but there's the Heritage Park down in Wexford in Ferrycarrig.
Oh yeah,
the Viking kind of early Christian Ireland. That's a brilliant day out as well. We did that in secondary school, but I remember doing it as a child as well. And standing in a Viking longboat replica, being like, "Oh my god, I'm like a real Viking."
Dunbrody? Is that place? No,
I think it's Ferrycarrig.
Okay,
I'd need to double check, but
Yeah.
it is the National like Heritage Centre
Cool.
down in Wexford. It's a great day out.
Maybe Dunbrody was the name of a ship. I'm not sure. Who knows?
Who knows?
Someone knows.
But
Cool.
and if you are braving like an overnight stay somewhere with an older class, best of luck to you. I've never done it.
Yeah.
I know I've been in schools where we have done it. We've done like Killary or Carlingford, and they've had such a ball.
Yeah.
They've had such a great time.
They do have an amazing time. I've taken groups away before, but it is very busy for the adults, for the grown-ups that are there. It is definitely like you need your wits about you for sure, you know, because it's a lot. You're minding other people's kids for a very long time. And there's a lot of needs then that come in when people get a bit tired and homesick.
I think the scariest thing I've ever done when looking after someone's kid is brought someone else's child swimming.
Yes.
And I think it's important for you, if you've planned a highbrow trip like that, have something really nice booked for yourself afterwards.
Spa
like
break.
when you get home, have like a brunch or like just, even if it's just taking an EPV day to just decompress.
Yeah. Do it for yourself.
Because you do need that time afterwards to go, whoa, okay. Because when I took my group to Clara Lara, they were a high energy bunch. So even though I had a great time, there was still a lot of, okay, that's that group there, that's that group there. And I'd arranged when after school that day just to go out to the seaside afterwards and just have a 99 and sit and look at the water.
Yeah,
and just
you need it.
Decompress from the day.
Yeah. And even your face is tired from like looking and smiling and like, you know, being present. So it is good to
and your brain
take
is
that break.
wrecked from the head count and
yeah,
timing everything and how long do we have before we need to get back to
on the bus driver, all those different, your production manager for a day basically.
Exactly.
Brilliant. So basically go on that school tour and have a great time. Mind yourselves and each other.
If you go to or have been to any of the places that we've spoken about with a group, let us know how you got on.
Yeah.
Let us know if you'd recommend it and what age group you had as well, because I think the biggest thing when you're a new teacher starting out is not knowing where you can go.
Yeah.
So I think opening that conversation in the staff room, being like, well, what was the best trip you've ever done? What was, if needed, what was the easiest trip you've ever done?
Sometimes it's the easiest is the best.
What have you been able to book last minute? Because I know that's happened to us before. We've been caught out going, oh, you know, we're in the middle of April now. I don't know if we're going to get a school tour booked. And we got very lucky with some of ours. So
great. Super. So we've come to just about the end of the podcast. And we often end with what's new at DABBLEDOO. So we are, So as the DABBLEDOO drama lead, I've been going on a little tour around the country. So we're going around the country visiting schools, just basically having a look at the website to see what it looks like, see how it plays out, see if the randomizer works, see if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, what can we do to help? What resources can we build around that? So we've been to some amazing schools already, and it's been so incredible to see the teachers take a hold of the program and do it from their point of view and how they've kind of tweaked it in ways to suit their class. It's just been amazing for me to see. So this is a call out where our tour is open. Please let us know if you'd like us to come visit your school. We'd love to come. And again, it's just us looking at the website. It's nothing to do with checking on teachers or anything like that, or pupils or watching performances, anything like that. It's just all about us looking at the website, making sure we can make it as great and as accessible as possible for all of you teachers.
Brilliant.
So I think we're done, are we?
I think that's us.
Yeah.
Wrapped for another month.
Yeah. Wrapped for another month. So again, send us in some feedback about those school tours, but also if there's any topics you'd like us to talk about, we're 100%. Always open for any feedback. And all those comments coming into the lessons, all those lesson scores are all being filtered through into a big massive system that we look at every single week to check on the lessons and see how they're doing. So again, get those comments in, get those lesson scores in. We love to see them.
Art is busy reading all of your feedback for the first year and making any of the changes that we need to make. So yeah, definitely do get your comments in. Let me know if something hasn't worked and I will try and get a new method out to make sure it does work.
Brilliant.
And even like kids loved this or some of my favorite comments have been like, oh, they were really engaged with this. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I know. You're like, yay, tick, tick, tick.
And if you have pictures of things that they're doing, please let us see them. I love coming across, like even on Instagram, coming across an art lesson and going, oh, that's a DABBLEDOO lesson. Yeah. Wow, look at theirs. And it's brilliant to see.
Heartwarming, isn't
it? It is very heartwarming.
Yeah. You know, because we do spend a lot of time just behind the laptop. We don't get to see it all in action. So it is great to see it. So thank you everybody for listening. And that's us for another month. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Slán go fóill.